The world has grown quiet now. The heavy warmth of the long day has lifted gently, the way a warm blanket is slowly drawn back when you no longer need it, and in its place there is a cool silver mist that clings to the floor of the valley. It settles over the grass and the low stones and the soft, damp earth, and it feels as though the land itself has decided to rest. You find yourself standing at the edge of a narrow path that winds its way downward, slowly between two gentle hills, and you can feel the cool air on your face and on the backs of your hands, and it is pleasant, and it is still. There is no rush. There is nowhere you need to be, and the stars above are steady and unhurried, blinking slowly through the branches of ancient oaks that line the path ahead. You take a first step, and the sound of your boot meeting the soft earth is quiet and rounded. It is a gentle sound, a small sound, and it does not carry far. The earth here is dark and rich, softened by the evening dew, and each step you take leaves a shallow, quiet impression in the ground. The air around you carries the faint scent of damp moss, of wet stone, of wild lavender that grows somewhere nearby in small, scattered clusters. You breathe it in slowly, and the breath fills your chest and settles there for a moment before you let it go, just as slowly, and the rhythm of your breathing begins to match the rhythm of your walking, and both are unhurried and easy. The path is not steep. It descends in a long, gentle curve, bending softly to the left and then back to the right, following the natural contour of the land. The oaks on either side are old and broad, their trunks dark and rough, their branches reaching out and over the path in wide, patient arcs. Some of the lower branches hang close enough to touch, and you can see the faint outline of leaves still clinging to them, though the season has begun to turn, and many have already fallen. They rest on the ground now, curled and dry, and when your boot brushes against them, they make a small papery sound that fades almost as soon as it begins. The mist thickens slightly as you move deeper into the valley. It rises to your knees, soft and weightless, and the world beyond the edges of the path becomes a gentle blur of gray and silver. You can still see the dark shapes of the trees, still see the faint line of the path ahead, but everything beyond that is soft and indistinct, as though the valley has drawn a quiet curtain around itself, enclosing you in a small, still space where nothing moves quickly and nothing demands your attention. You walk on, and the mist moves with you, parting gently at your legs and closing again behind you, and it feels less like something you are moving through and more like something that is simply there, part of the landscape, part of the quiet. There are no sounds that startle. The valley at this hour is a place of small, gentle noises, the kind that settle into the background and become part of the stillness rather than breaking it. Somewhere to your left, a thin stream of water moves over stones, and the sound it makes is a soft, continuous murmur, steady and low, like a voice speaking very quietly in another room. You cannot see the stream from the path, but you can hear it, and it has been there for a long time, moving over those same stones night after night, and it will be there long after you have passed. It is a comforting sound, a sound that asks nothing of you, and you let it accompany you as you walk. The path levels out for a time, and you find yourself walking through a stretch of flat, open ground where the grass grows tall on either side. The grass is pale in the moonlight, almost silver, and it sways gently in a breeze so faint that you can barely feel it on your skin. The movement is slow and even, the stalks bending and straightening in a steady, repeating rhythm, and you watch them as you walk, and the watching is pleasant and easy. The blades of grass are thin and soft, and when they brush against the edges of the path, they make a whispering sound that is barely there at all. You have been walking for some time now, and your body has settled into the movement. Your legs carry you forward with a steady, easy pace, and your arms swing gently at your sides, and there is nothing strained or hurried about any of it. Your shoulders have lowered. Your jaw has softened. The small, held places in your body have begun to release one by one, like knots being slowly undone, and each release brings a small, quiet sense of ease. You are not tired, not exactly, but you are aware of a pleasant heaviness in your limbs, a warmth that comes from steady, unhurried movement. And it feels good to be in your body in this way, moving through the quiet world at this gentle, undemanding pace. The moon is high and nearly full, and its light falls evenly over the valley, casting everything in a pale blue-silver glow. The shadows beneath the trees are deep but soft, and where the moonlight reaches the ground, the grass and the earth and the small stones along the path are all touched with the same gentle luminescence. It is not a bright light, not the kind that sharpens edges or reveals details, but rather a diffuse, even glow that smooths everything and makes the world look simple and calm. You walk through it, and the light moves with you, and it feels as though the moon is keeping you quiet company, watching from its place in the sky, without any expectation or demand. Ahead, the path curves around a low rise in the ground, and as you follow it, a new stretch of the valley opens before you. Here the trees are fewer and farther apart, and the land is open and gently rolling, covered in low grasses and small flowering plants that have closed their petals for the night. The mist is thinner here, just a faint haze that hovers close to the ground, and you can see farther than before. In the distance there is the dark, smooth shape of a hill, and beyond it another, and beyond that the sky, deep and wide and filled with stars. The stars are not brilliant tonight. They are soft and steady, scattered across the sky in familiar, unhurried patterns, and they seem very far away and very close at the same time, as though the sky has lowered itself gently over the valley, drawing nearer to the earth, drawing nearer to you. You pause for a moment, not because you are tired, but simply because the place invites it. The ground beneath your feet is soft, and the air is cool and still, and there is a flat stone beside the path, pale and smooth, that seems as though it has been waiting for someone to sit on it. You lower yourself onto it slowly, and the stone is cool through the fabric of your clothes, and the coolness is pleasant against the warmth of your body. You rest your hands on your knees and look out over the valley, and for a while you simply sit and breathe and watch the world being still. From this small vantage point, you can see the path you have already walked, winding back through the tall grass and disappearing among the dark shapes of the oaks. You can see the pale ribbon of the stream glinting faintly where the moonlight catches the moving water. You can see the mist settled in the lowest parts of the valley like a soft, still pool. Everything is quiet. Everything is in its place. There is no movement that surprises, no sound that demands attention, and the simple act of sitting here and seeing all of this is enough. It is more than enough. It is a kind of fullness, a gentle completeness, and you sit with it for as long as you like, because there is no reason to hurry and no clock to watch. After a time, you stand again slowly, and the movement is easy and natural. Your body has rested, and the pleasant heaviness in your limbs has deepened slightly, and it feels good to be standing again, good to be moving again at this same quiet, unhurried pace. You step back onto the path and continue forward, and the path continues to wind its gentle way through the valley, and you follow it, and the walking is as easy as breathing, and the breathing is as easy as the night air that moves in and out of your chest without any effort at all. The valley begins to narrow slightly, and the hills on either side draw closer, and the path passes between two old stone walls that are low and crumbling, covered in moss and small ferns. The walls are the color of the earth, dark gray and brown, and they have been here for a very long time, longer than anyone can remember. They were built by hands that are long at rest, and they have stood through countless seasons, slowly settling, slowly softening, becoming part of the landscape rather than something separate from it. You run your hand along the top of one as you pass, and the stone is cool and rough and damp, and the moss is soft beneath your fingers, and the touch is grounding, a small physical connection to the solid, quiet world around you. Beyond the walls, the path opens again into a small, sheltered clearing where the ground is level, and the grass is short and soft. In the center of the clearing there is a single tree, older and broader than any you have seen tonight, its trunk wide and deeply grooved, its branches spreading out in every direction like arms held open in a gesture of welcome. The tree is an oak, and its leaves are still thick and full, and they make a soft, rustling sound in the faintest movement of air. They sound like many quiet voices whispering together about nothing in particular. You stop beneath it, and the canopy above you is like a ceiling, dark and close and sheltering, and the moonlight filters through the leaves in small, scattered patches, dappling the ground with pale, shifting light. You lean against the trunk of the tree, and the bark is rough and warm against your back, and you can feel the solidity of the tree behind you, the deep, quiet strength of something that has stood in this place for 100 years or more. The ground at the base of the trunk is cushioned with fallen leaves and soft earth, and you settle into it, and the settling feels natural and right, as though this is a place where sitting is what one does, where resting is what the clearing was made for. Your breathing has slowed. Your heartbeat is steady and quiet. The world around you is still, and you are part of that stillness, not separate from it, not observing it, but simply existing within it, the way the tree exists, the way the stone walls exist, the way the mist exists in the low places of the valley. You sit beneath the tree for a while, and the time passes gently, without edges or markers. The moon moves slowly across the sky, and the patches of light on the ground shift slightly, drifting like slow water over the grass and the leaves. An owl calls somewhere in the distance, a soft, low sound, 2 notes repeated at long intervals, and the sound is part of the night, part of the quiet, and it does not disturb anything. A small creature moves through the grass nearby, something small and light, a mouse or a vole, and you can hear the faint rustle of its passage, and then it is gone, and the silence returns, and the silence is comfortable and full. When you stand again, the movement is slow and deliberate, and you take a moment to look back at the tree, at the clearing, at the small, sheltered space you have rested in. It is a good place. It will be here tomorrow night, and the night after that, and it will look much the same, and the owl will call, and the small creatures will move through the grass, and the moon will cast its pale light through the leaves. You turn back to the path and you walk on, and the leaving is gentle, without any sense of loss, because you carry the quietness of the clearing with you, and it does not fade as you move farther from it. The path descends again, a gentle slope that carries you deeper into the valley, and the air grows cooler, and the mist thickens once more. The world is very still now. The sounds have grown even quieter, even softer, as though the valley has sunk deeper into its rest, and everything within it has followed. Your footsteps on the earth are the softest sound in the world, a steady, rhythmic padding that blends with the silence rather than breaking it. You walk and you breathe, and the walking and the breathing are the same thing, the same slow, easy rhythm, and you do not need to think about either one. You pass a small pond, set back from the path in a hollow of the land, and the water is perfectly still, so still that it looks like a piece of dark glass laid flat upon the earth. The surface reflects the sky above it, the moon, the stars, the deep, dark blue of the night, and the reflection is so clear and so perfect that it is hard to tell where the water ends and the sky begins. You stand at the edge for a moment, looking down into the dark, calm surface, and you can see the faintest outline of your own shape reflected there, a dark, still figure standing beneath the stars. The pond is small, no larger than a room, and its edges are soft with reeds and low grass, and a single lily pad rests on the surface near the center, dark and flat and motionless. The air above the pond is cooler than the air on the path, and it carries a faint, clean smell, the smell of water and wet earth and the green, growing things that live at the water's edge. You breathe it in, and the breath is cool in your chest, and when you let it go, it mingles with the mist that hangs over the water, and for a moment your breath and the mist are the same thing, the same soft, pale vapor drifting slowly, dissolving into the night. You watch the pond for a while longer, watching the stillness of the water, watching the stars reflected in its surface, and the watching is restful, and the restfulness goes deep, settling into your bones, into the quiet places behind your eyes and at the base of your skull. You turn from the pond and continue along the path. The ground near the water is softer, damper, and the grass here is thicker and darker, fed by the moisture that seeps slowly from the pond's edges into the earth. Small, round stones are scattered along the bank, smooth and pale, and they catch the moonlight in a way that makes them look like sleeping things, small, still creatures resting in the grass. You step around them carefully, not because they are obstacles, but because there is a tenderness in the stepping, a care for the quiet things that rest in the quiet places, and the care is gentle and automatic, a part of who you are in this moment, in this valley, at this hour. A little farther on, you pass a low wooden bench, set back from the path near the edge of the pond. It is old and worn, its wood silver-gray with age, its legs settled deeply into the earth, and it faces the water, as though it was placed here for the specific purpose of sitting and watching the pond at night. You do not sit on it now, you have already rested, and the walking feels good, but you notice it, and the noticing is pleasant. Someone placed this bench here once a long time ago, and the placing was an act of care, a small, quiet gift to anyone who might pass this way and want to sit and be still. The bench will be here tomorrow, and the night after waiting with the same patient, unhurried readiness, And the thought is a warm one, a thought that asks nothing and gives a little, and you carry it with you as you walk on. The path curves gently away from the pond, and the air changes, the cool, mineral scent of the water giving way to the warmer, earthier smell of the soil and the grass. You can hear the pond behind you for a little while longer, not the water itself, which is too still to make a sound, but the faint occasional call of a frog, a small, low sound, repeated at long, irregular intervals, a sound that is part of the night, part of the background, no more demanding of attention than the stars overhead. The sound fades as you walk, and then it is gone, and the silence that replaces it is the same silence that has been with you all along, steady and full and comforting. The path is darker here, shaded by the trees that have closed in, again on either side, but the darkness is not empty or threatening. It is a warm darkness, a soft darkness, the kind that comes when the light has simply stepped back, gently to let the night have its time. Your eyes have adjusted, and you can see well enough the pale line of the path, the dark shapes of the trees, the faint glimmer of moonlight on wet leaves. You walk through the darkness with the same easy, unhurried pace, and the darkness is around you, and it is comfortable, and it asks nothing. The path winds through a stand of birch trees, their trunks pale and slender, glowing faintly in the dim light like tall, quiet candles. The birches are different from the oaks, more delicate, more graceful, their branches thin and reaching, their leaves small and round and trembling in the slightest movement of air. The sound they make is a soft, continuous whisper, higher and lighter than the sound of the oak leaves, and it is a gentle sound, a sound like paper being turned very slowly, and it fills the space between the trees with a faint, pleasant murmur. You walk among the birches, and the ground here is covered with their fallen leaves, small and golden, and they are soft beneath your boots. The air smells different here, lighter, cleaner, with a faint sweetness that you cannot quite name. It is the smell of the birch bark, perhaps, or the smell of the leaves themselves, and it is pleasant and unfamiliar and somehow welcoming, as though this small grove has its own character, its own quiet personality, and it is glad to have you passing through. The grove is not large, but it takes a while to cross, because the path winds slowly among the trunks, curving this way and that, following a route that seems chosen not for efficiency but for beauty, for the simple pleasure of moving among the pale, slender trees. You do not mind the winding. Each curve reveals a new view, a new arrangement of trunks and branches, a new pattern of moonlight on the ground, and each view is quietly pleasing, a small visual gift that the grove offers to anyone who passes through at this unhurried pace. Near the center of the grove, you notice a small clearing where no birches grow, just a circle of soft, mossy ground, no larger than a few paces across. The moss is thick and dark green, almost black in the dim light, and it looks incredibly soft, like something you could lie down on and sink into gently, slowly, the way you sink into a pillow at the end of a long, quiet evening. You do not lie down, but you pause at the edge of the clearing for a moment, looking at the moss, appreciating its softness from a distance, and the appreciation is a gentle thing, a small, warm feeling that sits quietly in your chest. A single firefly blinks in the darkness at the edge of the grove, a small pale green light that appears for a moment and then fades, and then appears again a few feet away, as though the light has drifted through the air from one place to another. You watch it, and the watching is restful, because the rhythm of the firefly's light is slow and unpredictable, and there is something soothing about a rhythm that cannot be anticipated, that simply happens when it happens, gently, without pattern or plan. The firefly blinks once more, farther away, and then it is gone, absorbed into the darkness of the grove, and the darkness closes around the place where it was, and the darkness is soft and complete. Beyond the birches, the valley opens once more, and the path straightens, and you can see a long way ahead. The land is flat and open, and the grass is short, and the mist has thinned to almost nothing, just a faint, pale shimmer in the air that catches the moonlight and holds it for a moment before letting it go. The sky above is vast, a deep, dark blue that is almost black at the edges and lighter near the horizon, and the stars are everywhere, scattered and steady, and they seem closer here, as though the open land has brought the sky down to meet the earth, and the two are resting together side by side in easy, companionable silence. You walk across the flat ground, and the walking feels different here, lighter, easier, as though the earth itself is carrying you forward. Your stride has lengthened slightly, not because you are hurrying, but because the flat, open ground invites a longer, more relaxed step, and your body has responded naturally, without any conscious thought. The grass brushes against your ankles, soft and cool, and the air moves gently against your face, and you can feel the whole valley around you, wide and still and peaceful, and you are at the center of it, moving through it, part of it. In the distance you can see the faint, warm glow of a farmhouse window, a small square of golden light set against the dark bulk of a building. It is far away across the fields, and it does not grow brighter or closer as you walk, and you do not feel drawn toward it. It is simply there, a small, quiet sign that someone else is still awake, or perhaps that they have left a light burning as they sleep. And the thought is a gentle one, a thought of warmth and shelter and the simple, ordinary comfort of a home at night. You watch the light for a while as you walk, and then slowly it flickers and goes out, and the darkness where it was is the same as the darkness everywhere else, and the valley is a little stiller, a little more complete in its rest. Another farmhouse light, farther away and fainter, glimmers for a time on the far side of the valley. It is barely visible, just a tiny, warm point of light, like a star that has settled on the earth, and you watch it with the same gentle attention, the same quiet interest, and after a while it too fades and is gone. The valley is darker now, and the darkness is full and soft, and it holds you the way water holds a stone at the bottom of a still pool, gently, completely, without any effort at all. You think of the people in those farmhouses, sleeping now, their day finished, their work set aside. You do not know them, but you feel a quiet kinship with them, a shared membership in the vast, gentle community of the night. They are resting in their beds, beneath their roofs, behind their closed shutters, and you are resting here on the path, beneath the open sky, and the resting is the same, the surrendering is the same, the letting go of the day and the welcoming of the quiet dark is the same. You are all doing the same thing, in your different ways, in your different places, and the thought is a warm one, a thought that connects without demanding, that links without binding, and it settles in your mind like a leaf settling on the surface of still water. The fields around the farmhouses are dark and flat stretching away on either side of the path in wide, even expanses. During the day they would be green or golden, full of growing things, full of the steady, patient work of cultivation. But now they are simply dark, simply resting, their surfaces smooth and still beneath the moonlight. A fence runs along the edge of one field, a simple wooden fence, its posts dark and upright, its rails horizontal and even, and it, too, is part of the resting landscape, a quiet structure that marks a boundary without enforcing it, that says here is one place and there is another, gently, without insistence. The path curves again, bending slowly to the right, and as you follow it, you find yourself walking alongside a low hedge of hawthorn, its branches dark and tangled, its leaves small and dense. The hedge is old and untended, and it has grown in its own way, following its own slow, patient will, and it stretches along the side of the path for a long way, a low, dark wall of living green. The scent of the hawthorn is faint but present, a clean, slightly bitter smell that mingles with the night air, and it is a familiar smell, a countryside smell, and it feels like it belongs here, in this quiet, sleeping landscape. You walk alongside the hedge, and the path is soft beneath your feet, and the hedge is a quiet, steady presence beside you, and the sky is wide above you, and you feel sheltered and contained and free all at the same time. There is no contradiction in this. The valley holds you, but it does not confine you. The path leads you, but it does not compel you. You are here because you want to be here, because the walking is good and the night is good, and the quiet is good, and that is reason enough. The hedge ends at a gap where a wooden stile stands, old and weathered, its wood gray and smooth with age. You do not need to climb it. The path continues around it, but you stop for a moment and rest your hand on the top rail, and the wood is cool and solid beneath your palm. The stile has been here for a long time, and many people have climbed it and rested their hands on it and paused here, just as you are pausing now, looking out over the field beyond, where the grass is pale and still, and the sky meets the earth in a soft, dark line. You stand here for a moment resting, and the resting is easy and complete. And when you are ready, you step away from the stile and continue on, and the movement is gentle and unhurried. The path now leads through a stretch of low, rolling ground where the land rises and falls in soft, slow waves, like the surface of a calm sea frozen in place. The rises are gentle, no more than a few feet, and the path follows them faithfully, ascending and descending in a steady, easy rhythm that your body matches without effort. Up and down, slowly, gently, and the movement is soothing, like the rocking of something held in careful, steady hands. The grass on either side of the path is long and soft, and it bends and sways in the faintest breeze, and the swaying is slow and even, and it adds to the sense of gentle, continuous motion that surrounds you. As you cross this rolling ground, you become aware of the sound of your own breathing, not because it is loud or labored, but because the world around you has grown so quiet that your breath has become the most present sound. It moves in and out, slowly, evenly, a steady tide that rises and falls with the same gentle rhythm as the land beneath your feet. You listen to it, and the listening is effortless, and the sound is comforting, a reminder that you are here, that you are alive, that your body is carrying you through the night with the same quiet reliability that the earth carries the grass, and the stones and the trees. There is a pleasure in this, a deep, simple pleasure in the act of breathing, in the way the air fills your lungs and then leaves them, in the way your chest rises and falls, and the way the rhythm sustains itself without any effort or attention. You do not need to think about breathing. Your body does it for you, has always done it for you, and the doing is faithful and steady and unceasing. And there is something profoundly reassuring about that, something that speaks to the quiet, dependable nature of the body, the way it goes on doing its work, moment after moment, breath after breath, through the night and through the day, through waking and through sleeping, always the same, always steady, always there. The land beneath your feet is soft and springy, the soil rich and dark, and each step leaves a faint impression that the grass slowly fills in behind you, erasing the trace of your passage as gently as the night has erased the traces of the day. You are leaving no lasting mark on this place, and the place is leaving no lasting mark on you, and there is a freedom in that, a lightness, a sense that you are simply passing through, gently, quietly, the way a breeze passes through a garden, touching everything lightly and holding on to nothing. The rolling ground levels out, and the path enters a wide, shallow basin where the grass is short and thick, like a carpet of soft green. The basin is ringed by low trees, their silhouettes dark and rounded against the sky, and the moonlight falls into the basin evenly, filling it with a pale silvery glow. It is a peaceful place, an enclosed place, and the air here is very still, and the temperature is slightly warmer, as though the basin has gathered the last heat of the day and is holding it close, reluctant to let it go. You walk across the basin, and the grass is springy beneath your boots, and each step is cushioned and soft. The silence here is deeper than anywhere else on your walk, a stillness that seems to come from the earth itself, from the rocks beneath the soil, from the roots of the trees, from the long, slow processes of growth and rest that have shaped this place over countless years. You walk through it, and you are quiet within it, and the quietness goes all the way through you, from the surface of your skin to the center of your being, and it is good. At the far edge of the basin, you notice a small patch of wildflowers, their petals closed for the night, their stems bowed gently toward the earth. In daylight, they would be colored, blue or yellow or white, but now they are simply small, dark shapes resting among the grass, and their presence is a quiet reminder that the world is full of things that are beautiful and that do not need to be seen to exist. They are here in the dark and the quiet, doing what flowers do at night, resting, drawing in, gathering themselves for another day, and the thought of them resting is a gentle thought, a thought that slows your mind a little more, that draws you a little deeper into the quiet. A thin layer of dew has begun to form on the grass, and your boots leave dark, wet tracks behind you, and the tracks catch the moonlight for a moment before the dew settles over them again, covering them, smoothing them away. The dew is cool, and you can feel the faintest dampness in the air, a freshness that comes with the deepest part of the night, a freshness that says the world is clean and new and resting, that the air is being washed and renewed, slowly, gently, by the same quiet processes that wash and renew everything in the valley, the grass, the earth, the stones, the trees, the water, all of it, slowly, gently, night after night, without hurry, without effort. On the far side of the basin, the path rises slightly, just enough to bring you up out of the hollow, and as you crest the gentle rise, you see that the valley has changed character once more. Here the land is more open, and the sky is wider, and the stars are brighter, and you can see the far side of the valley for the first time, a long, low ridge of dark hills that stretches from one end of the horizon to the other. The hills are smooth and rounded, their outlines soft against the sky, and they look like the backs of great, sleeping animals, resting peacefully in the dark. The sight of the far hills does not create urgency or anticipation. You do not feel the need to reach them or to hurry toward them. They are simply there, part of the landscape, part of the quiet, and they give the valley a sense of gentle enclosure, a sense that this place has edges and boundaries, that it is a contained and knowable space, and that everything within it is safe and held and at rest. You walk on, and the path is level now, and the walking is very easy. Your body moves with a comfortable, practiced rhythm, and you do not need to think about where to place your feet or how fast to go. The path knows the way, and your body knows the path, and all you need to do is continue, step after step, breath after breath, moving through the quiet world at this same gentle, unhurried pace. The air carries a new scent now, the faint, sweet smell of clover, and you realize that the grass on either side of the path has changed. It is softer here, thicker, mixed with low-growing plants, whose small, rounded leaves catch the moonlight and hold it in tiny, pale points. The clover is everywhere, a soft, dense carpet that extends on either side of the path as far as you can see, and its sweetness fills the air with a gentle, pervasive fragrance that is pleasant and calming. You breathe it in, and the sweetness settles in your chest, and your breathing slows a little more, and the slowing is easy and welcome. You notice that your thoughts have grown quieter, too. Earlier, at the beginning of the walk, there were small thoughts drifting through your mind, fragments of the day, small concerns, small plans, the ordinary business of being awake and alive. But now, as you move deeper into the valley, deeper into the night, those thoughts have gradually faded, one by one, like the farmhouse lights that flickered and went out. They have not been pushed away or suppressed. They have simply finished the way a stream finishes when it reaches a still pond, spreading out and becoming part of the larger quiet. Your mind is not empty. It is full of the night and the walking and the gentle, continuous experience of being here, but it is not busy, and the fullness is peaceful and still. The path passes through another stand of trees, these ones smaller and more closely spaced, with smooth, dark trunks and narrow, oval leaves that hang motionless in the still air. The canopy above is dense, and the moonlight cannot penetrate it, and for a short stretch you walk in near complete darkness. But the darkness is not unsettling. It is like walking into a warm, enclosed room, a room without walls, a room made of air and leaves and the soft, damp smell of earth. Your eyes adjust, and you can see the faint, pale line of the path, and you follow it, and the trees are close on either side, and they are like quiet companions, standing watch, standing still, and their presence is comforting rather than confining. You emerge from the trees into open ground again, and the moonlight is there to meet you, soft and blue and unchanged, and the valley spreads out before you, wide and gentle and still. The path continues, and you continue with it, and the walking has become so natural, so effortless, that it no longer feels like something you are doing. It feels more like something that is happening, something that the night and the valley and your body have agreed upon together, a gentle, shared undertaking that requires no will and no effort, only the willingness to be here, to be moving, to be part of the quiet. You're deep in the valley now, far from the place where you began, and the beginning seems distant and vague, not in a troubling way, but in the way that a morning seems distant from an evening, separated not by urgency or concern, but simply by the slow, natural passage of time. The path you have walked is behind you, and the path ahead is before you, and both are part of the same gentle, winding way, and there is no need to think about either one. The present is enough. The feeling of your boots on the soft earth, the cool air on your face, the steady rhythm of your breath, the quiet, dark world around you, all of this is enough, and it is complete. A gentle breeze moves through the valley, the first you have felt in a long while, and it carries with it the scent of distant water, a river or a lake somewhere beyond the far hills, and the scent is clean and cool and faintly mineral, like stones that have been washed by rain. The breeze touches your face and your hands and the back of your neck, and then it is gone, and the air is still again, and the stillness is like a door closing softly, not to keep anything out, but simply because the door prefers to be closed, because the room prefers to be still. The path descends into a narrow, shallow dip where a small stream crosses the way. The stream is barely a hand's width across, a thin ribbon of dark water moving slowly over smooth, round stones. There is a flat stone placed in the center of the stream, just large enough for a boot, and you step on it, and the stone is solid and steady, and the water moves around it without hurry, without force, just a gentle, continuous flow that makes a soft, murmuring sound, barely louder than your own breathing. You stand on the stone for a moment, looking down at the water, watching it move, and the watching is restful, because the water does not change. It does not speed up or slow down. It simply moves steadily, patiently, carrying small, dark leaves and tiny flecks of starlight on its surface as it goes. You step off the stone and onto the far bank, and the path continues, and you continue with it. The stream falls behind you, its murmur fading slowly into the larger quiet, and the valley is still around you, and the night is deep and full. You have been walking for a long time now, or perhaps not. It is hard to tell, and it does not matter. Time in the valley moves differently, not faster or slower, but more gently, more loosely, as though the hours have been untied from their usual structure and allowed to drift, like leaves on the surface of a slow-moving river. There is no urgency in any of it. There is only the walking and the breathing and the quiet, continuous experience of moving through a world that is at rest. The path widens slightly, and the ground becomes smoother, and you realize that you are walking on a surface that is different from the soft earth you have been following. It is harder, more compact, a layer of fine gravel or packed clay that has been worn smooth by many feet over many years. The change in surface does not alter your pace. It is still easy, still unhurried, but there is a slight difference in the sound of your footsteps, a softer, more muted quality, as though the ground here absorbs the sound more completely, and your steps are even quieter than before. Ahead you can see a shape in the darkness, a structure of some kind, low and angular, and as you draw closer you see that it is a small bridge, an old stone bridge that arches over a narrow channel where water once flowed or perhaps still flows in wetter seasons. The bridge is made of dark, weathered stone, and its arch is low and graceful, and moss grows thickly on its sides, and the whole structure has the look of something that has been here for a very long time, something that has become part of the landscape, as natural and inevitable as the hills or the trees. You walk across the bridge, and your footsteps echo softly in the small, hollow space beneath the arch, a quiet, resonant sound that is pleasant and surprising and quickly gone. On the far side of the bridge, the path enters a meadow, wide and flat and covered in soft grass that comes up to your shins. The meadow is open to the sky, and the moonlight falls on it evenly, and the grass is pale and silver, and the whole space has a luminous, gentle quality, as though it is lit from within. You walk through the meadow, and the grass parts before you and closes behind you, and the movement is like walking through water, but lighter, easier, without resistance. The grass is soft and cool against your legs, and each step is cushioned and quiet, and the meadow seems to go on for a long time. No, you do not mind, because the walking is so easy and the world is so still. The meadow is alive with small, quiet presences. Tiny insects move through the grass, unseen but faintly heard, a soft, continuous hum that is more felt than listened to, a vibration in the air that adds a layer of gentle warmth to the silence. Somewhere in the grass a cricket begins to sing, a single steady note, repeated over and over at long, even intervals, and the sound is so small and so constant that it quickly becomes part of the background, part of the meadow, as natural and unremarkable as the grass itself. You walk through the sound, and the sound does not change, and the walking does not change, and the meadow continues, pale and silver and still. In the center of the meadow, you stop. You do not decide to stop. Your body simply comes to rest, as naturally as a leaf comes to rest on the surface of a still pond. You stand in the middle of the soft, silver grass, and the sky is above you, wide and deep, and the stars are steady and quiet, and the moon is a pale, round shape in the west, lower now than when you began. You stand here and you breathe, and the breathing is slow and deep and even, and each breath feels like a small, quiet wave that rises and falls inside you, carrying away whatever is left of the day's small tensions, whatever is left of the world's small demands, leaving you lighter and more still with each passing moment. You look up at the sky, and the sky looks back at you with its thousands of quiet eyes, and there is no judgment in the looking, no expectation, no question. The sky is simply there, vast and deep and still, and you are simply here, standing in a meadow in the middle of a quiet valley, and the distance between you and the stars is immense but not troubling, and the smallness of your body against the vastness of the sky is not frightening but comforting, because you are part of it, part of the same quiet, the same stillness, the same deep, unhurried rest that is settled over everything. You begin to walk again slowly, and the meadow continues, and the grass continues to part before you and close behind you, and the walking is so easy now that it feels almost like drifting, like being carried by a very slow, very gentle current. Your eyelids are heavy, not with tiredness exactly, but with the pleasant weight of deep relaxation, the weight that comes when the body and the mind have both let go of their usual vigilance and have settled into a state of quiet, trusting ease. The meadow ends at a line of low bushes, dark and rounded, and beyond them, the path resumes, narrower now, winding between the bushes in a gentle, curving way. The bushes have small, dark leaves and a faint, clean scent, and they are close enough to touch on either side, and their presence is like walking between two rows of quiet, patient sentinels. You follow the path through the bushes, and the path curves and winds, and you curve and wind with it, and the movement is gentle and continuous, and you do not think about where the path is leading, because the leading is enough, and the following is enough. Beyond the bushes, the valley opens up one last time, and the land here is the flattest and the most open you have seen. The grass is very short, almost like a lawn, and it is soft and thick, and the ground beneath it is level and smooth. The far hills are closer now, or perhaps they only seem closer. They're dark, rounded shapes filling the horizon, and the sky above them is the deepest, darkest blue you have seen tonight, a blue that is almost indigo. That is almost the same as the hills themselves, and the line where the sky meets the hills is soft and indistinct, a gentle blurring of earth and sky that makes the world feel seamless and whole. The path flattens and widens, and the walking is effortless. Your feet move over the soft ground, and each step is quiet and cushioned, and the rhythm of your walking is slowed even further, matching the deep, slow rhythm of the valley itself. You are part of the valley now. You have been walking through it for so long that the distinction between you and it has softened, blurred the way the line between the hills and the sky has blurred, and you feel the quiet of the valley inside you, in your chest, in your belly, in the long, relaxed muscles of your back and your legs, and the quiet is deep and full and unbroken. Ahead, at the edge of the flat ground, you can see a small wooden gate. It is old, made of weathered planks that have turned gray with age, and it stands between two low posts, half open, leaning slightly to one side in a way that suggests it has been open for a long time, perhaps always, perhaps since the day it was made. The gate does not bar the way. It is more of a marker, a gentle indication that one space is ending and another is beginning, and the transition between the two is easy and unhurried, as easy as stepping from one room into the next in a house you know well. You walk toward the gate, and the walking is slow, and the gate draws closer, but slowly, as though it is in no hurry to be reached, and you are in no hurry to reach it. The ground beneath your feet is covered in clover now, soft and thick and fragrant, and each step releases a faint, sweet scent into the air, and the scent is gentle and calming, and it fills your chest with each slow breath. You reach the gate, and you pass through it, and the passing is gentle and seamless, barely noticeable. There is no change in the air, no change in the light, no sense of crossing a threshold or entering a new space. The clover continues on the far side, and the path continues, and the stars continue overhead, and everything is the same quiet, still, peaceful world that it has been all along. Beyond the gate, the path begins to fade. Not suddenly, not completely, but gradually, the way a sound fades when its source moves slowly away, the way a color fades when the light dims. The edges of the path become softer, less defined, blending with the clover and the grass, and the distinction between the path and the ground around it grows thinner and thinner until you are no longer walking on a path at all, but simply walking on the soft, level ground, and the ground is all the same soft clover, all the same gentle, even surface. And there is no need for a path anymore, because there is no need for direction, because every direction is the same quiet, still, open space your walking slows. It has been slowing for some time, but now you notice it, gently, without concern. Each step is a little longer in duration, a little shorter in distance. Your body is moving with the slow, deliberate pace of something that is preparing to be still. Your arms hang loosely at your sides. Your shoulders are low and soft. Your breath is deep and slow, each inhalation a long, gradual filling, each exhalation a long, gradual release, and the time between one breath and the next is a small, quiet space where nothing happens and nothing needs to happen. The moonlight is softer now, as though a thin veil of cloud has drifted across the sky, not enough to hide the moon, but enough to diffuse its light, to spread it more evenly, to make the whole valley glow with a faint, uniform luminescence that is neither bright nor dark, but something in between, something gentle, something restful. The shadows have soft. The shapes of the hills and the trees and the distant hedgerows have all blurred slightly, losing their edges, becoming part of the same gentle, continuous glow, and the world feels less like a collection of separate things and more like a single, quiet, unified whole. You are walking very slowly now, and the walking has a dreamlike quality, a feeling of floating just above the ground, of moving without effort, without weight. Your eyes are half closed, and the world you see through your lowered lashes is soft and indistinct, a wash of pale silver and deep blue, and the faint, dark shapes of the hills ahead. Your thoughts are very quiet, very still. They are not thoughts at all, really, not in the usual sense, not words or plans or memories, but rather a gentle, continuous awareness, a feeling of being present in the world, of being held by the night, of being part of the deep, quiet rest that has settled over the valley. The clover beneath your feet is very soft. You can feel it through the soles of your boots, a gentle, yielding cushion that absorbs each step and holds it for a moment before releasing it. The air is cool and still. The scent of lavender has returned, faint and distant, drifting from somewhere you cannot see, and it mingles with the sweetness of the clover and the clean, damp smell of the night air, and the mingling is pleasant and calming, and you breathe it in, slowly, and the breathing is almost the only movement left in you, the last gentle, rhythmic motion, rising and falling, like a tide on a very quiet shore. You can see the horizon ahead where the dark hills meet the sky, and the meeting is soft, a gentle, seamless blending of earth and air, of dark and darker, and there is no line between them. No boundary, no edge. The sky is the hills, and the hills are the sky, and the valley is part of both, and you are part of all of it, walking slowly through the quiet, open space, moving towards something that is not a destination, not an ending, but simply a continuation of the same deep, gentle quiet that has been around you all along. Your steps are very slow now. Each one is a small, deliberate movement, a gentle placing of one foot in front of the other, and between each step there is a long, quiet moment where you are still, where you are standing in the clover, where the world is holding you, and then the next step comes, gently, easily, and the next, and the next, and each one is a little slower, a little gentler, a little more like stillness. The night is deep around you. The stars are steady. The moon is low. The valley is still. The air is cool and clean and faintly scented with lavender and clover, and it moves in and out of your chest with the slow, even rhythm of deep rest. And the rhythm is everything now, the only thing, the gentle, continuous pulse of breath and silence, and the silence between the breaths is growing longer, and the breaths are growing deeper, and the world is growing softer, and the softness is everywhere. You are barely walking now. Your body is almost still, almost at rest, moving forward with the smallest, gentlest motion, a motion that is more like swaying than walking, more like the slow, easy movement of a plant in the faintest breeze, and the swaying is comfortable and soothing, and it does not require any effort, any thought, any will. You are simply here, in the valley, in the night, in the quiet, and the being here is enough, and the quiet is enough, and the slow, gentle movement is enough. The clover is soft beneath you. The air is still around you. The sky is wide above you. The hills are dark and smooth on the horizon, and the stars are faint and steady, and the moon is a pale, gentle shape in the western sky, and everything is at rest, everything is quiet, everything is held in the same deep, warm, enveloping stillness, and you are part of it, you are held within it, you are resting within it, and the resting is deep and complete and without end. Your breath rises and falls. The valley holds you. The night is gentle and long. The path has dissolved into the soft ground, and the ground is everywhere the same, a quiet, even surface of clover and grass and soft, dark earth, and there is nowhere to go and nowhere to be and nothing to do, only the breathing, only the stillness, only the deep, continuous quiet of the valley at rest. And you are at rest within it. Your eyes are soft. Your body is warm and heavy and still. The gentle weight of the night is on your shoulders, on your chest, on your eyelids, and it is not a burden, it is a comfort. It is a blanket drawn close, and the warmth of it is deep and even and all-encompassing, and you feel it everywhere, in every part of you, in your hands and your feet and the long, relaxed muscles of your back and your legs, and the feeling is safe and familiar and good. The last small sounds of the valley are very far away now, the faintest murmur of the stream, the softest rustle of a leaf, the quietest call of a distant bird, and they are gentle sounds, fading sounds, sounds that are moving away from you, or perhaps you are moving away from them, drifting slowly, gently, like something carried on a very quiet, very slow current, a current that moves through the night and through the valley and through the soft, dark spaces between the stars. There is a feeling of belonging that is very deep, a feeling that you are exactly where you are meant to be, that this quiet, this stillness, this gentle, unhurried movement through the night is the most natural thing in the world, and you do not question it, or examine it, or try to understand it. You simply feel it, the way you feel the cool air on your face, the way you feel the soft clover beneath your feet, the way you feel the steady, slow rhythm of your own breathing, and the feeling is complete and whole and unbroken. The valley stretches out around you, wide and dark and still, and the hills on the horizon are soft and smooth and patient, and the sky above is deep and full of quiet light, and the ground beneath you is soft and warm and yielding, and you are here, and you are quiet, and you are still, and the stillness is not the absence of something, it is the presence of something, something gentle, something warm, something that has been here all along, waiting for you, waiting for this moment, this quiet, this rest. Your breathing has slowed to its deepest, gentlest rhythm, a rhythm that is barely distinguishable from stillness, a slow, soft wave that rises and falls, and each rising is a little shallower, and each falling is a little softer, and the spaces between them are wide and quiet and full of peace. The world is very still now. The valley is very quiet. The night is very deep. And you are here in the middle of all of it, resting, breathing, being still. And the resting is good, and the breathing is good, and the stillness is good, and there is nothing else. And there does not need to be anything else, because this is enough, this quiet, this peace, this deep, gentle, unending rest. The clover is soft, the air is cool, the stars are steady, the moon is low, the valley holds you, the night holds you, the quiet holds you, and you are held, and you are still, and you are resting, and the resting goes on, and on and on, gently, slowly, deeply, the way a river flows through a valley, the way the night flows through the sky, the way the breath flows through the body, steady and slow and without end. And the valley is quiet, and the night is still, and the world is at rest, and you are at rest within it, and the rest is deep, and the quiet is full, and the peace is gentle and warm and everywhere, and you are here, and this is enough. The breath rises, the breath falls, the breath rises, the breath falls, slowly, gently, deeply, and the valley is quiet, and the night is still, and the world is soft, and the rest is deep, and you are here, and you are still, and the stillness goes on, and on, and on, gently, slowly, deeply, and the valley is quiet, and you are at rest, and the rest is good, and the night is long, and the quiet is deep, and you are here, still, resting, breathing, softly, and the valley holds you, and the night holds you, and the quiet holds you, and you are held, and you are still, and the stillness goes on,